Hello my dear learners, welcome to my video lectures on robot technology. In this video lecture, I will be explaining about robot sensors. In my previous lectures, I have explained you about the robot specification and also the end effectors of a robot. Robot sensors play an important role in guiding the robot in a particular direction, also the orientation as well as executing the task in a very good accuracy. So let us start our lecture. This lecture is presented by me, Shamant. Let's begin the lecture. So what are robotics sensors? Robotic sensors are used to estimate a robot's condition and environment. Robotic sensors are something like your eyes. So if you want to see the environment, how exactly it is, you use your eyes and then you sense what type of environment it is. If at all you have to pick an object, the information is going to your brain saying how much far the object is. So these signals are passed to a controller to enable appropriate behavior. In your case, that is in a human being, the signals are passed to a brain and then it enables appropriate behavior accordingly. But a robot has a separate controller. The controller is a brain of the robot. That is what it is used to enable appropriate behavior of a robot. Whether to execute a task or not execute a task is told to a robot by a controller. This controller has the instructions which are given by a human being himself. So that is what robotic sensors are. They perform several functions like identification of objects, guiding the robot without obstruction, identification of path, object avoidance, and so on. These are certain functions which are done by a robotic sensor. So there are two images which is depicting the sensors present in a robot. You can see a humanoid robot which is having a lot of sensors. One is a tactile sensor which is above the head, and then there are two cameras to see the environment, four microphones to grasp the sound in that particular environment, and then there are sensors in each joint. Okay, you can see here there are so many joints, one at the neck, and then in the hand there are three joints, and then knee joint in his leg. There can be so many sensors depending on your application. You can see Aibo. This is the dog which is manufactured by Sony. It has a distance sensor installed at the nose, and then edge detection sensor. It has acceleration sensor, vibration sensors, pause sensors. So many sensors can be used depending on what type of robot it is and how you are using it, for what application you are using it. So we'll see what are these sensors, how are they used. So generally robots are classified into two types: internal sensors and external sensors. Internal sensors generally are potentiometers, optical encoders, and tachometers. Contact sensors and non-contact sensors come under external sensor. Contact sensors are touch sensor, slip sensor, force sensor, and torque sensors. Non-contact sensors are range sensors, proximity sensors, and vision sensors. Why are we dividing or classifying the robot sensors? Just to understand where exactly the sensors has to be installed. If it is internal, the sensors has to be installed internal to the robot, whereas external sensors has to be installed externally, so that when it comes in contact with a particular product, then it can sense that particular product by using these sensors, that is touch sensors, slip sensors, force and torque sensors. I'll talk about these sensors in my next slides. And then non-contact sensors, range sensors, proximity sensors, and then vision sensors. We have no discussion on internal sensors because it is not there for your syllabus. We are only discussing on external sensors, that is contact sensors and then non-contact sensors. We'll see what are they one by one. So I have already explained you about internal sensors. Generally, internal sensors provide the information like joint position, velocity, acceleration, orientation, and then speed. External sensors provides the information about external environment surrounding the robot, like navigation of the robot. You have to navigate the robot in a proper direction. The direction you might have already predefined. Say for example, in an industry, automated guided vehicle is a robot, and you have not installed a sensor to navigate it. Even though you have predefined the path, the vehicle, if it has to avoid the obstructions whatever is present, it needs to sense something. For that, sensors are very much needed. And then object handling, and then identification of the object, etc. So these are the different types of sensors the robot has. Again, external sensors are further divided into contact sensors and then non-contact sensors. It was clearly explained to you in the flowchart that I showed you. We'll see what are the external sensors one by one. Touch sensors. First, I will be explaining the contact type of sensors, and then I will be moving on to non-contact type of sensors. So first one is the contact. The first one which comes under contact type of sensor is a touch sensor. You all have skin which acts as a sensor. When you touch a particular product or a material or the intensity of the material, you will understand what type of object it is. Say for example, you touch a hot object, you know, you will come to know that the object is hot. You touch a cool object. So how do you actually get the signals from? By skin. So that skin which is similar in the robot, we call it as tactile sensors. Tactile sensors acts as a skin for the robot. These sensors are used to indicate whether a contact has been established with the object or not. If you are grasping an object, you need to sense whether the wrist of the robot has been made a contact with the part which you are grasping or not. Also, these sensors indicate the presence of the object within the fingers of the end effector. You can see here there is a small gear which is being held in two fingers of a robot. If this has to be identified by a robot, then you need a touch sensor at the contact points of the gear. So these are tactile sensors. You can install tactile sensors wherever necessary or wherever the robot comes in contact with the object. And if it has to sense the contact made between the object, then you have to install the tactile sensor in that particular location. This is a model of a tactile sensor. It is just an array. You have three layers. One is a base layer, the second layer is the sensing elements, and then the outer layer. So the tactile sensors are made up of three layers, and once the outer layer is touched by a particular sensor, then the signals goes to the different parts of this particular tactile sensor, and then it is connected to the controller of a robot. The signal goes to the controller of the robot. That is how tactile sensors are used. Then you have a slip sensor. The second type of contact sensors is slip sensor. These sensors are used to specify the contact made by the external objects and also determines the force of a contact. If the specification or if the identification has to be made whether the contact is done by the external objects, then you require a slip sensor. This is a rotating disc. Now the object comes in contact tangentially to this particular rotating disc. When it comes in contact with tangentially, this rotating disc oscillates, and when this oscillates, there is a contact happening between the plunger and then the contact plate. So when it comes to a certain angle, it makes the contact with the contact plate, and then the signal is sent to the controller saying there is a contact being made, and that is how the slip sensor works. And then the third type of contact sensor is a force sensor. This force sensor is very much required in a robot to be installed just behind the end effector, because these sensors are primarily used for measuring the reaction forces which is developed at the interface of the mechanical assemblies. Now, a part has to be assembled on a sub-assembly. When it has to be assembled on a sub-assembly, when the end effector keeps a particular part on the sub-assembly wherever it has to be assembled, there should be certain reaction force what the end effector should measure. based on the force what it is getting, it can understand whether the part has been assembled properly or not. In robots, these sensors are used to measure the reaction forces developed at the joints and the wrist. You can see here, this is a joint. Here you have a force or a torque sensor, and then the end effector is fixed. So if this has to grip a particular product, then the force is measured and it is sent to a controller. Based on the required amount of force, it decides whether the part has been grasped properly or not. Generally, these are strain gauges. You can see the image of the force or torque sensors here, 2D figure of a force sensor. Yeah, next is a range sensor. So range sensor comes under non-contact type of sensors, and this is mainly used to measure the distance between a reference point on the robot and the objects present in the workspace. So generally, the range sensor is calculated by the range of the object is calculated as d. This is the d, and you have an object here kept, and then the detector is present in the robot. The eye of the robot is called as the sensor, range sensor. So generally, eye of the robot will be a range sensor to detect at what distance the object is present, and it is calculated by the formula d is equal to b tan theta. D is nothing but the distance of the object to be measured, and then b is the distance between the detector and the source, and then theta is it can be measured easily. That when you substitute these aspects, you will be getting the distance between the object and the robot. These sensors uses photoelectric devices to determine the distance. So this is a range sensor which can be installed into the robot. And then proximity sensor. Proximity sensor, everyone might be you might have come into, or you might have experienced this proximity sensor. It is widely used in cell phones. So the proximity sensors are used to indicate the presence of an object within a specified distance or interval without having a physical contact with the object. You might have come across this proximity sensor when you enter the mall. In a particular range, as soon as you enter in that particular range, the doors open by itself. That is with the help of the proximity sensor. What happens is, when the circuit, when the object comes nearer to the circuit, there is a high frequency magnetic field, and because of that magnetic field, there is deflection causing to the internal circuit, which sends the signal to the controller, and thus it opens or closes or actuates the actuator. You can set a particular target to the proximity sensor. You can have the range which can be controlled. So generally it has a proximity switch and then an active phase which actually senses, and then the target is present. And as soon as the target comes in that particular range, the active phase sends signal to the proximity switch, which sends the signal to the controller. So this is generally a photoelectric sensor which can be installed on the robot to detect the presence of an object in its work volume. The next type of sensor is vision sensor. This also comes under non-contact type of sensor. These sensors are used to recognize the three-dimensional object in the form of the picture. These sensors are called as robot vision sensors, machine vision sensor, or artificial vision sensors. What happens is, the vision sensor first inspects the part, and when this inspects the part, the signal is sent to the computer, wherein it matches with the image whatever is already fed to the computer, and then it says whether the object is passed or failed, and the data of the pass or fail is collected in a computer and it is stored. So these can be used to detect the good products and the bad products in the inspection department. So you cannot inspect every product. So when you just pass the product in on the conveyor, the machine vision or the vision sensor captures the data, and then it gives or it stores the data saying which product is good, which product is a defective product. So these are some of the important sensors which you can come across in most of the robots which are used in industry or for domestic purposes. Wherever the robot is installed, you can find these sensors. So this is all about the robot sensors. I guess you have understood the type of sensors, internal sensors, external sensors, and also the contact type of sensors and non-contact type of sensors. Thanks for watching. If you like the video, do subscribe to my YouTube channel Inquisitive, and also share it among your friends.